Alright, good morning everyone. So as you know, my name is Faye. Right. Okay, so 31460 Jong Faye. The name of this man-belt asteroid named after me. So it's orbiting Earth as we speak, right now, and it's around 2.9 kilometers in diameter. So how did I get an asteroid named after me? Is it that significant? And did I discover it? Well, no, I didn't. It was discovered by the Lincoln Laboratory Near Earth Research Team in Soroco in 1999. And it was most recently sighted on 20th July 2017 at Mauna Loa. Alright, well, enough about the asteroid. Okay, now I want all of you here to take a look at this piece of clock. Can you see? Yes, can you see it? Alright. There's a bigger one here, projected, but I think the color is off. And, alright, questions. What do you think this clock is made of? You wouldn't know, right? So I'll give you a couple of hints. The material starts with letter C, the die starts with letter O, and the stuff used to fix the die onto the fabric starts with the letter M. So, it is really ancient, right? Like, I picked it up from an archaeological site. Well, I really hope I didn't. So, okay. Okay. As you can see, the color of the cloth does look like this, right? It's really alright? Right. Okay. Before that, today, roughly 90% of clothing are synthetically dyed and manufactured. However, this has brought about a negative impact to our environment. As you can see, dyed wastewater is the most polluting of all industrial sectors. It has roughly, wastewater is produced, and 600 liters of wastewater is produced per kilogram of textile dye, and that's a lot of water. Besides that, the chemicals inside, 72 of these cannot be removed, and 30 of these are like the worst of them. So chemicals today are used in fabric dyeing are basically dioxane, formaldehyde, and also heavy metals such as chrome, copper, and zinc. There are around 60 million workers in the dyeing industry today that are exposed to such harmful substances. So in addition to these harmful substances, they are also carcinogenic, highly flammable, and very, very dangerous to work with. So I decided to revisit the good old days by trying to invent a totally organic cloth made out of just waste materials. So, see, these are the common fabric dyes used nowadays. Yes, they're very colorful, but they're very, very toxic. So, which fruits do you like to eat? Mangosteen, right? Right, that's good. Alright, so what are the top 3 most favorite fruits in Malaysia? Banana. Durian. Yes, but see, statistics show that the mangosteen, rambutan, and pineapple are like the top among Malaysians. So, do you know that these 3 fruits roughly produces around 286,000 metric tons of waste annually? Just 3 kinds of fruit skins. Okay, what about tea leaves and onion skins? You know, you fry your rice with onion and everything. They produces roughly 500,000 metric tons of waste, equivalent to 2,800 annual dollars. So, next, we have fish, don't we? All love fried fish. And fish have fish scales that produces 1.58 million metric tons of waste. So, all this waste going into our landfills isn't a good thing. So, what can be done with all these waste? Alright, so a brief description about my project, basically what I did.
Excuse me, Jong. Excuse me.
Yes?
This summary, I think you can go around.
Go around?
If you feel difficult to look at the slide,
Okay.
Yeah, you can just move around. Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so basically what I did, my project is entitled Bio-Waste Materials as Eco-Friendly Mordants in Fabric Dye Process. So what are mordants? Mordants are substances used to fix dyes onto fabric. Normally, heavy metallic salts, such as potassium dichromate, copper sulfate, and alum are commonly used. These substances are not only hazardous to human health, but also to the environment. Therefore, I decided to use alternatives such as bio-waste materials, like I mentioned earlier, mangosteen, pineapple, tea leaves, and rambutan, as well as fish scales. So these substances, I didn't just choose them randomly. They do have their chemical properties, such as, like you can see, mangosteen and rambutan have tannic acid. Pineapple, citric acid, as well tea leaves, iron, tannic acid, and fish scales, collagen. So all these materials prove to be really good fixators for dyes on the fabric. And also make use of onion skin as a dye source. So onion skin has quercetin and camphorol. So all my processes, they're really easy. I just took these materials and boiled them. It can be done at home, or I did it in the lab. See, onion skin. Alright, so after that, this is the modern preparation for mangosteen. And like this cloth, for example, here is soaked in that substance, the one I bought here. Okay, so and then this cloth also, after I put them in the mordant, I did a fabric dyeing process by dipping this into the dye itself. Like, this is the pre-mordant method, like what I did in the lab. It's basically soaking the cloth in the mordant substances for different duration of time. Like, I think this is rambutan, mangosteen, pineapple, and fish scales. I did this for around 8 hours to produce good results. So, dyeing methods. There are a few of them. And first we have the pre-mordant, meaning soaking the fabric in the mordant before dyeing. Meta-mordant, soaking fabric and the dye together. And post-mordant, soaking the fabric in the mordant after the dyeing process. So I tested out all three methods for dyeing, and also I did a color fastest test. Meaning, after these fabrics are dyed, I cut them into strips. You can see 3 strips, and they're all the same, different samples. And I dry them in the sun, as well as wash them in the washing machine for like 10 days each. So normally, okay, now you're going to ask me, how am I going to actually tell the color difference? Am I going to just, use my eyes and have a look at it? No. Normally, a spectral photometer will be used. Like, I'll show you later. And so I had to come up with my own calculation process. Before that, first of all, if you see, there are very few samples only. It's really not enough to conclude any hypothesis. So I continued by moderating the temperature, changing from 38 to 40 to 60 and to 80 degrees Celsius. I used the water bath. And they're all on mangosteen pre-mordant because I concluded that the mangosteen pre-mordant is the best to use. And also modified soaking duration from 2, 6, 12, and 24 hours. As well as mordant concentration, the substance used to fix dye, from 50 to 25 to 2.5. So this is the spectral photometer, the one that is commonly used to measure the amount of light absorbed by a material. So the one that I used, I didn't have this. I'm from a government high school and we don't have access to such equipment. So my teacher and I managed to invent our own calculation method. So as you can see earlier, all these strips of cloth, right? I scan them using a regular office scanner, and then I open as an image in the computer, and then like this. And after that, use an online color picker to pick out the colors on the fabric itself. So 3 strips of fabric, 5 different points each, and they would be generated into the app, as well as converting the hexadecimal to decimal values using Microsoft Excel. And after that, I will change them into CIE, LAB, color space values. But then this is an online thing, so I don't have to calculate much. So after everything, I found all the average and everything. I had to calculate the total color difference. And it's a formula that I use to do it, to get my final color difference. So like if the higher the value, the better, the lower the value, the worse it is. So the closer the color difference, then of course that means my fabric is not looking that well. Alright, so best conditions for dyeing fabric as like my conclusion. Mangosteen, pre-mordant, 40 degrees Celsius for 6 hours and at 50% concentration. So, alright. So advantages of this product. It's 100% safe and non-hazardous to human health. Definitely be able to reduce cost in fabric dyeing industries, as well as to reduce the cost for wastewater disposal. And also reducing toxic chemicals means it's safer for the workers. Alright, so how did you get the idea for this project? I'm from Kuching, Sarawak, and the local Iban community, especially the women, have known to weave puah kumbu. This is puah kumbu. This is the textile. And it's normally considered sacred among the Iban community, and therefore it's carefully made down right to the coloring of the yarn. Like all these colors, they will normally handmade them. So what they normally use is like, okay, they'll pick the specific plants, like extract their leaves, barks, roots, and even the local fruit, kepayang, was used. But some of these plants actually have medicinal values. So it's like you're wasting the natural resources. Then the idea came to me. What if these natural resources can actually be substituted with waste products? I mean, after you eat the fruits, you don't want their skins anymore. So why not make use of it for a better option like dyeing cloth? Around that time, I was in Form 1, 13 years old, and I knew about the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, or Intel ISAF, which was annually held in the United States. I knew it at the time already, and my school had a track record of participating in that competition. And I was wondering, how do I get there? Since I like innovation, inventions, so, okay. And I approached my teacher, who was my science camp mentor, and I brought up my idea. So she was quite happy to guide me, and she guided me along 3 years before I went. So, okay, along the way, there were many obstacles that I had to face. First of all, I hardly had time to do my project and study yesterday. Although I was like in Form 1 and Form 2, I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff. And okay, so this means that I do my project late at night. Means there will be dangerous, like of course, I mean, you're tired and everything. So there was one night, my dad and I, we were in the kitchen. We were boiling the dyes, as you know the process earlier. We had to boil them to extract the dyes. Okay, we were doing that, and in the middle, the Bunsen burner ran out of gas. But then, like, the stove was still on, like the kitchen stove was still on at the time of it. Then we didn't realize it. We were trying to change the gas canister, and once we put in a new one, the whole Bunsen burner burst into flames. Like, yeah, you really caught fire in your kitchen. Luckily, like, my dad dropped it in time, so he only got some burns and my kitchen floor was scorched tile. Like, yeah. It was quite scary, but after that, still, I continued going on with my experiments and everything, but just being a bit more careful. Alright, so besides that, you know, like mangosteen, rambutans, they're like seasonal fruits. So how do I get them in a time of the year where it's not in the season? So what I did was I had to collect a huge lump of them by going around to hawker stalls, restaurants, and food courts to collect. And what I did was I dried them in an oven so that it can be stored and reused. But their chemical properties do not change even if they go under heat or anything. So that means they're very stable. That's why it's like one of the things why I chose them for fabric dyes. Alright, so this cloth, what do you think it's made of? Yeah. Cotton? I heard cotton? Cotton, and the M is? Mangosteen? Mangosteen? Someone said mangosteen? Okay, and the dye would be onion, right? Yeah. Alright, so basically this cloth itself, it can be made into different objects like scarves, even like tissue holders and many other things. I'm still in my research process, so whatever I've produced isn't really industrial level yet. It's just still on the way. So 3 years I mentioned earlier. What kept me going for 3 years, you'll be wondering. Actually, before I came to use mangosteen, onion skins, before this, I actually used things like roselle, you know, the red color flower, the Walker Rabina, they call it, roselle, blue color flower, butterfly pea, yeah, I don't know about pea, but yeah, and also I used turmeric or kunit, as long as I yeah. So before that I was using those materials, but then like the flowers, they were very unstable in their pH values. So if like it's slightly acidic, the color will change. So I had like red cloth turning blue, turning green, so like it wasn't very stable. So I don't think that it was a good process. Because if it's not stable, means I had to use chemicals to stabilize the pH often, like as a buffer solution. So I didn't really want to do it. I want a totally organic cloth and including the processes. So I cannot use this mangosteen, like after I felt for 1 round, that entire thing. So like, okay, I used this, finally it worked. And I was really glad. But what kept me going was the quote by the United States Navy SEALs, "The only easy day was yesterday." So this quote can be interpreted in various manners, whether or not you are a serviceman or a civilian. In my point of view, this means that if I do not constantly push myself to work harder, things are going to get progressively harder and harder day by day, and work's going to pile up, and I'm going to procrastinate. So it inspired me a lot and kept me going, as well as like caught my interest. And yep, and I also had a lot of support from my teacher and parents, most importantly. Alright, this Intel ISF 2014. Before Intel ISF 2014, before I could go, I had to compete in the local National Schools Science and Engineering Fair, which I competed in 2013. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was in Kuala. Yeah, Bukama. Yeah. And yeah, I competed there, and I actually won 3rd place in the individual category, which I was quite nervous at first because I didn't know whether I could represent Malaysia or not. I was waiting, and March, because I competed in around November, end of November. In March 2014, finally, good news. My teacher excitedly told me that my project was among the 12 selected to represent Malaysia to Intel ISAF 2014 held in Los Angeles, California. Yep, full paid trip. And it was a lot of fun. I got to go to Universal Studios also. And when I was there, I felt intimidated, honestly speaking. Like, all people around me, they were working to cure cancer, making exoskeletons for the disabled, robots, and so many other cool stuff. And there I was, like, dabbling with my fabrics and dyes, wondering if my project seemed too simple, or even, like I said earlier, ancient. You see the cloth, and you see my cloth, they look the same. So I felt it was like really small. I felt really tiny compared to the rest of the people out there. It's like the entire world was there. What our thought was, okay, if I do not be confident in my project, like if I do not present it the way I should present it, then isn't it going to waste like all my efforts? So what I did was I put a lot of hope in my project because I knew it was going to take me far. It took me as far as LA, and I'm not gonna actually give up last minute. So what I did was, during the journey and everything, I was really confident. I kind of like sold my project out. Yeah, and it was a surprise to me because I was already very happy to actually represent Malaysia at an international level. And then, during the awards ceremony itself, I was announced first place winner for my category of environmental management. Like, it was a surprise because so far, as far as I know, in my school, like, nobody has ever actually won past third place. So I thought like, okay, fourth was announced, third was announced, second was announced, and like, okay, that's it for me, I'm done. Then first place, they were like from Kuching, Malaysia. I was like, oh my goodness, it's like a dream come true. And I thought like, okay, that was it. I was standing on stage, getting my prize, and they were like, okay, all first place winners, please stay on stage. And they were announcing the best of category winners. And my name was announced again as the best of category winner. And it was like one of the best moments in my life because I didn't expect to go that far. And okay, part of the winners, like the best of category winners, there were around 17 that year. We were given another award each. And that award was for me to compete in Poland for the European Union contest for young scientists. And again I went in September 2014, and I won a PZU Foundation Award. But it was a really, really good experience for me, and I thought like, okay, that would be the end of it. And then I got invited to Shanghai to give a speech, and also I spoke at TEDx Youth at KL 2015. Yeah, and alright. So these are my award ribbons from Intel ISAF 2014. Yeah. Wait, this is really old now. Yeah, and the Foundation Award prize that I got. On top of all of these, I had the asteroid. So that's where the asteroid came in. It was given by the MIT Lincoln Linear Laboratory, and I got it towards the end of the year. Yeah, so, and then I haven't had really the chance to see yet because I don't have time. So, what is science really about? Like, what do people think about science? Science inventions, science innovations, and everything else. So, common public perceives science as, you have to be robots, medicines, all the cool and high-tech stuff, but actually they're not. What science is really about is observing the environment around us and making use of simple things to create something bigger and better. Scientists and inventors, what are the differences? Scientists are primarily motivated by the desire to understand how things work. Like understand by carrying out these experiments and see how something works. But for inventors are motivated by the desire to make things work, like make ideas work. So me, being an inventor myself, being confident is one of the things that I've learned throughout my entire process of doing my research. I learned that once you be confident and you never give up, is like one of the key things for me to achieve this thing. Right? And Today, I would like to leave a thought for all of you to ponder. There are 3 groups of people. The first group never wants to try, a second group does, but gives up halfway, and the third group are overcomers who persevere until they succeed. So which group do you belong in? Or more importantly, which group do you want to be in? Thank you.
You are most welcome, Faye, Jong, and we open the session for Q&A. Okey, jadi kita buka sesi ini kepada sesi soal jawab. Kepada sesiapa yang ingin bertanya, sila angkat tangan, beritahu nama anda dan dari mana, dan utarakan soalan. Kita buka kepada soalan. Anyone want to ask?
Hi.
Yes, hi.
My name is Fakrul. I am from Agency Remote Sensing Malaysia or ARSM. I'm come with my family actually, only to see the planetarium. But I heard your speech. It's a very good speech. And my question is, what your future plan from now on?
Hi, nice to meet you. Alright, so my plans, basically, I am an A-level student, currently studying in Southern College. So for now, still studying, but then my future plans for my project, I will plan to take it to an industrial level, collaborate with a factory's lab or something to test out how effective it is in industrial level. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other question? Please raise your hand. Boleh tanya dari sekolah apa?
Morning everyone, I'm Shi Hao, just a normal worker anyway. My question is, I have more interest on your work actually. You mentioned that your current finding is that your best method is pre-model.
Yes.
At 40 degrees Celsius,
Yes.
at 6 hours, correct?
Yes.
What happens if you bring the temperature higher? What happens if you bring the soaking time longer? And let me put it this way. Why do you conclude that 6 hours is the best and not shorter or longer? Why 40 degrees is the best, not higher, not lower? And pre-model, how do you actually come to that conclusion?
I see. Alright. So I had my statistical analysis. Color measurement method, so I did one way ANOVA, key and everything. I calculated the color difference. So with the color difference, I concluded the ones that I concluded, the 6 hours, 40 degrees and everything. So you said why 6 hours and why not longer? So 6 hours produced a good result already, even though it has only a very short duration compared to 24 hours. You'll be wondering why not 24 hours, right? So longer the better. So okay. Shorter the better, because not only it saves time, but it produces the best results. It has like the best results because I think once it's bonded, then if you continue soaking for a longer period of time, it just gets saturated, and it's like there's no point. Yeah, 40 degrees. Higher you go, the more bonds will be broken. 14. So like alright, so 40 degrees, and only that this is the right temperature for the dyes to bond, and also it saves fossil fuels. If you, for example, you continue running on this water bath, you're just gonna like waste energy only. Yeah, so that's why I found that it's like a more environmentally friendly solution.
You mentioned saturation, right?
Yes, that's why I did 50% more than. I cannot put it like 100%. Because I need to take into account this dye as well. Yeah, so I need to go 50-50.
There's 6 hours.
I did it for all the methods. Yes, but then the rest of the methods, they aren't good, like the metamorphism, the colors fade easily, and then like the dyes kind of stay together. So what I did was, because like modern is the substance of fixed dyes. So pre-modern means you soak the fabric in the substance first. So once it has a substance inside, then it's easy to fix the dye on it.
How long do you actually need to put the dye after that?
Sorry?
You actually pre-modern it for 6 hours.
Yes.
So the dye hasn't come in yet.
That is for me, yes.
So what happened after that? How you actually put on the dye?
Okay,
Another 6 hours?
Yeah, 6 6. Normally 6 6. Yes, 6 6 and 12 12 and then both. They have to be the same. Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright.
Any other question, please? Yes, dari sekolah di Kuantan.
Hi, my name is Mila Fakira. I am from SMK Abdurrahman Tariq Kuantan. I want to ask you, what keep you motivated to do this, and what ideas that keep you want to do this thing, the dyeing thing?
Okay, so the dyeing project is like, okay, technically considered it's like my first actual research project that I took a long period of time to do. So I was telling myself I want to focus on one thing, because if I don't focus on that, I keep changing, right? Then it's like I have results for this, I have results for that, and it's not really good. And I really, really wanted to compete internationally, because I said this is my only chance. Doing this project might take me there, may or may not, alright? But still, if I do not give it a try, I wouldn't know. Yeah, so it's like the way how I told myself was, if I give up halfway, that's it. I lost it. I lost that part where I can go overseas to compete. Yeah. So that was my kind of like how I tell myself every day not to give up.
Any other question? Yes.
Hello,
Yeah.
my name is Ifalia, and I'm also from SMK Abdurrahman Tariq. And I want, as a student, can I ask how you manage your time on doing your project and then your homeworks, your study like
right.
your time management? Can I ask?
Okay, time management was quite important, but what I did was, okay, student, I had classes ending around 12, 1, then after that tuition, everything. So after homework, like normally it's like after dinner then towards night, I'll stay up and I'll do my project. I'll do quite late I mean like normally after dinner, because if I were to use the kitchen in my house, my mom will be cooking, so like afterwards, after she's done, then I'll use it. Yeah, and things like I will borrow apparatus from school, beaker, the bath just now that you saw, thermometers and everything, and some of that I bought on my own as well. Yeah.
So how many hours you sleep?
Also I sleep. That time?
Yeah.
That time I was still quite young. Okay, around 6, 7.
Oh, 6, 7.
Wait, further 5? Depends. Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah.
And I'm sleeping 10 hours.
Because I was a student, like, waking up at 5:30 for school was very normal. Yeah, so I was quite used to that.
Okay.
But yeah, studies come first.
Any other question? If there is none, then please give a big hand to Jong Faye. Alright, on behalf of Planetarium, I would like to thank Jong Faye for kesediaannya untuk memberikan ceramah pada pagi ini, dan dengan itu Planetarium Negara mempunyai cenderahati yang akan disampaikan kepada Jong Faye. Okay, terima kasih. Thank you very much. Alright, after this we are going to watch a planetary show, and for your information, this is also the first time Jong Faye come to Planetarium Negara. Okay, so please watch the show, that a special screen dome that we want to show you with the title Earth, Moon and Sun. Is that correct? Okay. So those who are in the lower row, I think